Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an Object 705A. It's a Soviet Tier 10 heavy tank, and this one's located on the south spawn of Ensk under the command of Awppenheimer. Now, what can I tell you about the 705A? Well, it's got a very big gun, 152mm, capable of 650 alpha, and reasonable penetration as well to 256mm. With heat ammo it can go up to 317, and Awppenheimer is carrying some heat ammo, but you have got a limited number of rounds with this vehicle, and you've got a very long load time as well, 15.14 seconds. Oh, look at that! That's a high roll. That's a very high roll. Well, not a very high roll, but a high roll nonetheless. 678 hit points of damage to a TVP BTU. He's not going to be a happy bunny. And now he's an even unhappier bunny with 586 off that, which was a low roll. Now, the 705A is a side-scraping boss. It was actually a design that was put forward by the Kirov factory, the Chelyabinsk Kirov factory. It never got produced, but it was designed to be a side scraper. That is, its engines up front and the crew are behind, and it can really take the damage unless you're firing HE rounds. Well, that one failed to connect. That E75 should have been missing half his hit points, near enough, or at least a third of his hit points, but that one didn't connect on him. But there is the Su-14 too, and he's way at the back and he's just been wiped out. Okay, so who's next? Well, he fired around at the 50 TP, but it didn't go through. You can see that Awppenheimer doesn't mind taking a very forward position in this tank. E75 is now missing 492 hit points. And he doesn't really need to go into town to get some action because he's getting it all here. But that long load time meant that he missed that IS-3, and I think he's very unhappy about that. As you can tell from the way that his view was going in and out very rapidly. He was very upset. You only get a limited number of rounds in this tank, so you need to make them connect, and there's another one didn't go through on the E75. If these rounds had connected in the targets, I think he would be well on his way to his high caliber. And that E75 is trying to get into cover, but he still took a round for 577 through the brick walls. Now we've got the 50 TP behind us now, so yep, this is where we're going to have to sort of like be inventive about how we're working this. There's E75, 744. So it's a high roll, but now he's going to have to defend against the 50 TP who's intent on damaging him. Bounce that round, using the building for cover. The E75's been killed. Going for the observation port. Yep, lovely. And he's got that one out of the way. He didn't get the kill. That actually went to the T28 prototype, but doesn't matter. He still extracted 652 hit points. So, next target, IS-3. It should be able to wipe this IS-3 out with just one shot. But we've got some enemy to our right. There's a Panther 88. And, oh, Waffenträger. That'll make a nice big bang. Well, he fires around him, but I'm not sure he connected. That Panther is now, well, he's not quite a one-shot yet. He's over a ridgeline at the top of that hill, so it's going to be a difficult shot from here. He's got to wait till he gets closer. That should be it. Oh, and he only tracked him. How could that happen? He must have gone through the rear drive wheel, but not connected with the hitbox. So he's had several shots like that where it's not done the damage. And yes, he did get that off the Waffenträger, 639, but it's still a low roll. But he's about to run out of standard ammo. He's fired nearly all of his standard rounds. He's onto the heat ammo next shot. Can he get a shot into the Waffle? Yep, got him out the game. Now, T30 is the next target, and he can do that in one shot, but he's loading the heat ammo. He's got no standard ammo left, and that T-30 knows he's here. And he just bounced it into the tracks. All he did was track damage. Say goodnight. Yep. And he's out the game. And now we're going to side scrape off the wreck. The Borsig just killed the Batchat. But that is going to have consequences for the Borsig, because now the Borsig's going to have to suffer a very big hit. Here we go. Yep. Goodbye. 253. He's out the game. And with the last one alive on our team, with 4 enemy tanks out there, including a Type 5 Heavy. And the bad news is that Object 705s do not do well with HE rounds. They can let the HE rounds through. Unfortunately, he's just suffered a hit for 503 hit points. And you can see there's a massive grey hole in his front of his vehicle. He's going to go for the 430U first because he's the most mobile. He'll outflank Awppenheimer. He needs to do damage, but instead, unfortunately, the round went into the Type 5 Heavy and it did not penetrate. And now the Type 5 is bullying him. The IS-3A is turning up. The Object 430U is getting behind him and firing rounds into his rear. And he's bleeding hit points now. I'm afraid this comes as a consequence of losing all your teammates and being sort of like cornered. And yep, there was not a lot he could do to defend. Once they were behind him, it wasn't going to take very long. He couldn't handle that many enemies all at once. And so it's a loss, but it's still a good result overall. He managed to get a first-class mastery on this battle. In fact, it's the first-class mastery he's had with the 705A. He also managed to get a sharpshooter badge for getting 10 or more consecutive hits, a Reaper for killing 3 enemy tanks in a row with consecutive shots, 5 for effect for doing more damage than hit points of his own vehicle, and a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 12. And he got the high caliber during the game. He did the most damage of any of the tanks in the game. And a win 8 for 10,099. But let's have a look at the team score. And there you go, right at the top of the table. He beat the Type 5 Heavy by 250 hit points of damage. He managed to get, Oppenheimer got 7,596. The Type 5 Heavy managed 7,243, and some of that belonged to Oppenheimer. But when it came to kills, it was the Object 430U and the Rheinmetall Borsig who managed to get the most. They got 4 kills apiece, and the Type 5 Heavy managed 3, so did Oppenheimer. And when it came to base XP, it was the Type 5 Heavy who did the best, 1,205. Then came the 430U with 1,109. And lastly, out of that bunch, the Borsig managed 807. But Oppenheimer's still got the highest on his team, 732. If we look at the detail report, we can see he fired 20 rounds. He got 16 direct hits and 13 penetrations. A few of those shots he fired just a second too late to actually connect with the vehicle as it was rushing in front of him. It's such a long reload time on the 705A. It really is too long. He did damage of 7,596 hit points, all of it at close range. He received 15 hits from the enemy. 3 were penetration, 9 non-penetration. Those are the ones that went into the tracks. And 3 hits as a result of splash damage, including the shots that came from the Type 5 Heavy. He blocked damage of 3,370 hit points. He spotted 5 enemy vehicles, damaged 11 of the enemy and killed 3 of them, and did damage assistance of 1,046 hit points. On the credit side, he earned 93,872 credits, got 50,221 for completing the mission and events, and because he got the high caliber, the epic medal, he got 6,570 for courageous resistance. So his total came to 150,663. And after repair, ammunition resupply, and consumables, he still took away 64,559 credits. And the reason for that was really that he didn't fire that many heat rounds during the end of the game, because he was actually firing standard AP, because the standard AP's got reasonable penetration and of course that massive 650 alpha, which means it can do the damage pretty well, pretty much on its own. You just need to carry a few heat rounds for close encounters with tanks that are very difficult to penetrate, such as Jaegeroos or E100s or something like that. But still got a credit balance out of the game. 2 bonds for getting the high caliber. He got 1,098 XP, 616 for courageous resistance, 686 for completing the mission and events. he took away a total of 2,400 experience points altogether. So, yep, 7.5k damage, trying to carry. Yep, he was trying, but unfortunately, just ran out of teammates. And of course, in the position he was in an open field like that, there was very few places that he could sort of like side scrape off, because they were going to get behind him and pump rounds into him. And since there was 3 tanks on one, there was no way he could defend that. It really was impossible. The only way he might have been able to do it is if he'd managed to get up alongside a building that he could side scrape off and hold them all off. But he'd moved away from those buildings, so there was no way he could get back to them in time. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.